Normally, when a legendary figure in sports plays their final game, it's a big deal. People care about it. I can remember when Dwayne Wade played his final game in New Orleans. Now, it wasn't the last game of his NBA career, just the last time that he would play in New Orleans. It was a Friday night. The Smoothie King Center completely sold out. Now, one of the reasons that the arena was sold out, we all knew ahead of time that Dwayne Wade's husband Gabe would not be in attendance. But the main reason it was sold out, people wanted to show their appreciation for what Dwayne Wade accomplished during his NBA career. Kobe Bryant's last game, headline news. For the final game of his career, I think Drew Brees got screwed. He played his last game in a completely empty Superdome. It should have been one of those moments that we remembered forever. But no. We were not allowed to share that moment with Drew Brees and his family because Fauci was spreading his love across America. Derek Jeter's last game in Yankee Stadium, Michael Jordan retiring after winning the NBA Finals. All these are moments. All of these are moments that people remember. And we remember because legends, they have this ability to make a lasting impact. Legendary athletes, they create these moments in time that live forever. Now, according to the mainstream media, Megan Rapinoe belongs in the same class as these other legends. According to the mainstream media, Megan Rapinoe is the legend amongst legends, not only in soccer. The media considers the Megster to be a legendary figure in American culture. For the past week, the media has relentlessly pushed the retirement of Megan Rapinoe. This is so sad. Society will never be the same. Young women are losing an icon. Young women will now go back to having long hair since Megan Rapinoe will no longer inspire them to look like a prepubescent boy. Headline at ESPN: Megan Rapinoe leaving a void that cannot be filled. Seems like an easy void to fill to me. There are thousands of members at Woke United Methodist who can kneel for the national anthem. There are hundreds of dump divers in the WNBA waiting to fill the void left by Megan Rapinoe. Hell, most of them even duplicate her pretend masculinity. Swap out Megan Rapinoe for someone like Bob Greiner, problem solved. Over the past week, the mainstream media, they have been trying to convince you to give one single fuck about the retirement of Megan Rapinoe. Yet for some reason, you just don't care. I was on Twitter throughout the day on Sunday. You know how many times I saw Megan Rapinoe trending? None. I saw plenty of tweets about the NFL. I saw plenty of talk about Derek Carr. A lot of people talking about Deion Sanders and mythical racism. You know how many times I saw the wannabe Backstreet Boy appear in my timeline? None. But we're not supposed to care about the Megster, right? I mean, us normal people, we're not exactly the target demographic here. Megan Rapinoe is extremely popular amongst parishioners at Woke United Methodist, right? I mean, she is their star. She is their object of worship. Now, I have not been to a service in quite a while, but the last time I checked, the shitfucks still worship their deities on Sunday. Whether it's the oak tree, the Megster, or the woke wiener, Sunday is set aside for worship. This past Sunday, the service was organized at Soldier Field in Chicago. All worshipers of Megan Rapinoe, they were invited to worship their false god for one last time. Chicago, one of the wokest cities in America. It's not like this was taking place in Nashville or Dallas, cities where the Megster would struggle to draw a crowd. Down here in the South, Meg could not attract the dancing queen Jackie Mahomes to the cucumber pole at Club Shay Shay. But this was in Chicago, the land of rainbows and fresh flatulence. This event was heavily promoted by the mainstream media. For soccer games, Soldier Field has the capacity to hold 63,000 people. That should be no problem for the Megster. If you believe what she says, Meg has the ability to fill stadiums that hold over 100,000 people. People travel from all over the world to see what color my receding hairline is going to be. Selling 63,000 tickets in one of the wokest cities in America to watch Megan Rapinoe disrespect America for the final time? That should be no problem for this superstar. Now, I couldn't find average ticket prices since the game took place 2 days ago, but I did check a couple of Reddit forums just to see how much people were willing to pay for tickets. Lower level seats, they were going for as low as $30. Now, I know this was taking place towards the end of the month when their woke welfare was starting to run low, but a measly $30, that should not prevent worshipers of the Megster from coming out to see her one final time, right? After all the media promotion, after all the hype, 25,000 people watched Megan Rapinoe fly off into the sunset with a Sue Bird. There was no need to call the fire marshals since the stadium was only filled to about 40% capacity. Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, they are absolutely unwatchable. The Bears are pathetic, but they don't seem to have a problem selling out home games. How can Justin Fields sell out Soldier Field, where tickets are going for hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, while Megan Rapinoe struggles to fill the front row with tickets going for as low as $30? The answer, I think, is simple. Contrary to what the mainstream media wants us to believe, people do not care about Megan Rapinoe. Let me show you an example of how empty Soldier Field was on Sunday. After the game, Megan Rapinoe gave a painfully boring speech to the few dozen people in attendance. Well, KC, who won the game on Sunday? Who fucking cares? After the game, Megan Rapinoe, she addressed her friends and family who were sitting in the stands attempting to make it look full. Now, she didn't say anything noteworthy, so there's really no need to pay attention to what she's saying, but look in the background. Just look at all the empty seats, all the empty rows. Watch for yourself.
Grow up in front of all of you. Obviously, we're here in Chicago, but there's so many fans around the country and around the world. I guess that's it. Love you guys.
I have seen more people in the dump watching a facial hair counting contest between two dump divers than I just saw at the retirement of Megan Rapinoe. According to the media, the crowd in Chicago gave the Megster a raucous ovation after her speech. I've heard more noise from a woodpecker poking the ass of a canary than I heard in that stadium in Chicago. The media also claimed that the Megster received a loud ovation during the playing of the national anthem. Now, I know Megan Rapinoe has pretended to have this contentious relationship with the national anthem. She pretends the national anthem is divisive. She pretends that it represents mythical racism. She pretends to be triggered when she hears those painful words, "in the land of the free." But you would think, at this stage of her ending career, Meg would have this new appreciation for the national anthem. I mean, just think about it. This is the song that made her rich and famous. This is the song that put the face of Megan Rapinoe on dartboards across America. Before the Megster hijacked the national anthem, she was a nobody. She was collecting minimum wage in the NWSL and moonlighting as a janitor in the WNBA dump, where she eventually met the Sue Bird. When you really think about it, the national anthem created this life of luxury for Megan Rapinoe. Fame, notoriety, wealth, a blossoming relationship with a bird. She no longer has to go to the grocery store to overpay for a dozen eggs. She's got a fresh batch produced every day in the nest, and she gets to participate in the fun part of producing them. Now, I don't watch soccer. I'll watch the Men's World Cup if America is involved, but I'm not wasting my time watching a group of political activists disguised as female soccer players. But from what I understand, when you're representing your country on the soccer field, it's customary, it's tradition for the players to sing the national anthem. During the World Cup, I showed you guys footage of the beautiful women from Vietnam proudly singing their national anthem. This past Sunday, the American activists, they were on the field. Every single one of them had their hands over their hearts. Vast majority of them singing the national anthem. What was Megan Rapinoe doing? How did she show her appreciation during her final national anthem? Check it out for yourself. Now, this photo was captured by some dude named Michael Reeves while the national anthem was being played. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. I don't know if there's another picture that perfectly describes how Megan Rapinoe feels about the country who gave her success and millions of dollars. After the game, the Mexter was interviewed by the media. At one point, she was asked about her greatest accomplishments. Now, I remember watching The Last Dance on Netflix where Michael Jordan, he was asked a similar question. I believe they asked him about the most memorable moments of his career. Michael Jordan explained that his best moment was winning his first championship and being able to celebrate that moment with his father. Now, that's a response I would expect to hear from a legendary athlete. I'm sure Michael Jordan remembers that moment fondly because his father passed away a couple of years later. Now, looking back on her career, what is Megan Rapinoe most proud of? Is she proud of the World Cups that she won for America? Maybe she's proud of the Olympic gold medal that she won. I think that was in 2012. Perhaps she relishes the moment where she was recognized as a huge embarrassing failure by sending a penalty kick 50 feet into the front row during the World Cup. Looking back on her career, you think Megan Rapinoe is proud of any moments where she represented her country? No, no, and no. According to the Mexter, I'm most proud of what I accomplished off the field. Equal pay, pushing Mitch to compete with women on the pitch, supporting the organization of Black Lives Matter and their goals to destroy the nuclear family. That is what I'm proud of. What a legacy. This is why I told you guys the other day, Megan Rapinoe is going to be forgotten. People remember how you make them feel. You look at someone like The Rock in WWE who hadn't wrestled in like 20 years. A couple of weeks ago, he made a surprise appearance on one of their shows. This dude got the biggest pop that WWE has seen in years. I grew up watching The Rock. I watched him in his prime. You know how many of his matches I remember? None. But I remember how he made me feel. I remember how entertaining he was on the mic. How is Megan Rapinoe going to be remembered? How did she make people feel throughout her career? Did she bring people together? Did she unify people? Or did she create divisiveness for her own financial gain? You tell me. How is Megan Rapinoe going to be remembered? What is her legacy? Also, 25,000 people at her last game in a stadium that holds over 60,000. Now, ratings aren't available just yet. The game was broadcast on TNT. I expect the ratings to be a huge embarrassing failure. Give me your ratings prediction. How many people watched Megan Rapinoe's last game on TNT? Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate you guys and all your support. Follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84, and I'll see you guys later.